crisp chips and spin control are a real common factor with all tour players. They've got some little tour secrets that they do that aren't taught to club players. Let me show you what they are. At the professional level, it's not good enough just to be able to chip the ball solidly. You've got to create lots of different types of spin. You've got to be able to hit it more subtly high with a little tiny bit of backspin. You've got to be able to hit it low with a bit of overspin. You've got to do lots of different things to get to these tuck pins that they tend to do at the higher level. So you've got to get your technique down first and then have some hybrid techniques from that. And that's what the tour players do. But your main technique needs to have control of the strike, the spin and the trajectory. And this is how they do it. They get very close to the ball. One of the common errors that club players make, they stand a long way from the ball, almost as far as a full swing. Tour players get very close to the ball, almost to the point where you can see down the line here, where the heel comes off the ground slightly. You see, the closer you get, the more the heel comes off the ground, the less bounce there is. There's no bounce on the toe, so they eliminate that sort of chunky sort of bounce deal where the sort of back edge hits the ground. They get the front edge to pinch the turf. So you can see how close to it I am. Look, this is my regular distance away, and this is how close to it I am. Look how high the shaft is. That really has the effect of pinching my triceps against my ribs here. That allows my body to control my arms well. When you look from the front here, very subtle this is, but very important. The ball is not way back in the stance, and the weight is not way forward like is taught at club level. The lower body weight gets forward at club level, so the sternum gets back. That encourages you to bottom out behind the ball. So what you have to do is move the ball way back to counteract that. And what you end up doing is you're only able to hit a little low burning chip. At tour level, that's not good enough. So it's a very subtle difference here. They're very close to it, as we said. What they do is they get the ball in the middle, they get the upper body weight forward, so the shirt buttons are ahead of the ball here. We haven't got the shirt buttons behind. The lower body weight is actually on the right heel. A little key phrase a couple of players I work with say is get the lower body weight on the right heel, upper body weight on the left toe. Look how the shoulders are nice and open. The sternum's ahead of the ball. I'm very close to the ball. My arms are really pinched into my body. Now, a lot of the great chippers of the past, like the Hogans, the Sneeds, they really use their stomach and their legs as the sort of engine of their stroke, let's say. The arms and the hands just hang on for the ride. And the same's true of the great chippers in the modern era as well. You watch someone like Harrington, he's got a lot of movement with his thighs, with his stomach, with his abs. That's really the controller of the distance. The arms just hang on. So you can see how the arms stay in sync. They make a little turn of my stomach, a little movement of my knees, and you almost feel the shot with your knees a little bit here. And the arms just sort of go with you. And you can see, as a result, you start hitting a very, very crisp chip. What you can do at club level is get yourself closer to the ball, get your club on your shirt buttons here, and just open your shoulders so you feel your sternum is ahead rather than your lower body weight getting ahead and your shirt buttons behind. Get your shirt buttons ahead, feel your lower body weight in your right heel, and then maybe put a towel under your arms here and just get the feeling of your hips and thighs turning and your arms just hanging on for the ride. Stay nice and synced. Look at the synchronization of it. It's very, very succinct. Look, it's very 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And because of what I've done, I'm allowing the club to always bottom out ahead of the ball, not behind the ball. Once you get the idea and you've got control of the strike, the spin and the trajectory, then you can start to add in some variables of the different types of height. So you can start fiddling around with the ball position and the handle position a little bit. So you can move the ball forward, move the handle back a little bit to float it. You can release the right hand a little bit as you turn, and you create a variety, a real smorgasbord of different types of shots. I was with Michael Campbell at the PGA in 2004, I think it was. He stood over a chip, and he had a very average short game prior to that. And he stood over a chip, and he turned to me in the practice round and said he had 9 ways to chip this chip. And at that point, I thought my job was done, because that's what you want to hear from a player. You want to hear that they've got so much variety that they can play 9 different shots to attack a pin and get close to a pin that other players can't. So try that. That's the difference between how a club player chips and a tour player chips.